Not many games left out in the Nations League as we enter the penultimate stage. Who's going to get closer to promotion or relegation? We'll take a little look next. Today, we'll take a look at match day number 5.2 out in the Nations League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Nations League related, Blackburn Rovers related. Whoa, football related, we got it all here, boys. Under one roof. That's right, boys and girls. Of course, yesterday we took a look at match day 5.1. Today, it's the whole host of them. Match day number 5.2. Now, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to make a shout out to, of course, the Passions, of course. Support the channel behind the scenes. You know who you are. Of course, what they did, they actually went to the old description there, went over to the link, patreon.com/overseas, and became patrons and supported the channel behind the scenes. If you want to join that illustrious VIP gang and become a brother from another mother and come around for Thanksgivings and all this kind of stuff and have a big old hoedown in the future when we have a nice place and everything like that, then get stuck in the old description down below and check it all out. Check it all out. Check it all out. Check it all out. But until then, we're going to crack on and take a look at how we all got on last time around, of course. Now, I did shite yesterday. I did a little bit better this time around, so we'll have a little gander then, shall we? This is the criteria. Once again, 0 to 6, you're in the shit-faced gang. 7 to 14, straight-faced love. 15 plus, you're in the top ends. I don't know if there's any of those, but there's plenty of the yellows, so that's good to see. Here we go. Here we go. Now, these games took place on the 14th of October, but let's get into it then. Of course, let's take a look at the first one. Italy against the Netherlands, of course. That ended up as a 1-1 draw at the end. Lorenzo Pellegrini on score sheet for Italy. Donny van der Beek, Manchester United man, of course, scoring for the Netherlands. I actually remember the 2-1 win for myself. Shame on me. Poland, though, did beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 3-0 in the end. Robert Lewandowski got a couple of goals there. Karol Lindley as well. Adrian Alatomovic got himself sent off for Bosnia in a 3-0 winning for Poland. 2-0 for me. Not too bad. England got embarrassed though, 1-0 win in the end for Denmark. Christian Eriksen with the penalty, a couple of red cards. Harry Maguire and Reece James, of course, get himself sent off late after the final whistle on that one. That was a strange one, actually, with a 3-0 for England. Shame on me. Belgium, no questions though, 2-1 win over Iceland. Goals, Lukaku with a couple of goals. Brickman Sviansen on score sheet for Iceland as they lost at home, actually with a 3-0 win. Got the right amount of goals in that game, but just did distribute them a little bit correctly. Meanwhile, Croatia, they drew with France and they lost with 2-1 in the end. I actually remember the 1-1 draw. Goals got Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe as well on the score sheet. Nikola Vlasic on the score sheet for Croatia as they lost 1-1 for me. Shame on me. Portugal though, no questions there. 3-0 winners. Diego Jota with a couple of goals. Bernardo Silva in a 3-0 win. Actually with a 3-1 win, not too bad as well. Norway 1-0 winners over Northern Ireland. Stuart Dallas with a big fat OG. Giving Norway the big fat W there. Actually, remember the 3-0 win for Norway. Not too bad, but not too great either. Romania against Austria. That ended up as a 1-0 win for Austria. Actually went in favour of Romania. They all want to go score there. Alessandro Schott from the score sheet for Austria as they suffered as Austria picked up the big fat W. Meanwhile, Scotland took on a below par Czech Republic with a 1-0 win for the Scots. Called it, lads. Got it bang on the nose with the Ryan Fraser goal in the 6th minute to give Scotland the big fat W. And edging closer to the old promotion spots. Meanwhile, Slovakia they lost to Israel. 5-goal thriller out there with a 3-0 win for Israel. Ernie Shavaji getting a hat trick for the Israelis. Malik Hashmich and Robert Mack getting a couple of goals for Slovakia, and I went with a 0-0 draw. So, yep, not great for me. What did I get? I got myself 2, 4, 5. I got myself 5. Count that. Remember that number. Meanwhile, Mother Russia, they drew with Hungary 0-0 in the end. Actually, with a 2-0 win myself. Shame on me. Turkey against Serbia, also a draw. 2-2 in the end. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic and Alexander Mitrovic giving Serbia a 2-0 lead. Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Osman Tufan giving Turkey a share of the spoils there, with Bumak Yilmaz getting himself sent off for Turkey on that game. Finland did beat Ireland. Actually went with a 2-1 win, but it was actually a 1-0 win. The 1-0 goal scorer for Finland was Frederick Jensen on the 66th minute to give them the 3 points. Meanwhile, Wales did beat Bulgaria 1-0. Actually, with a 2-0 win myself on that one. I just saw the goal scorer. Jonathan Williams, of course. Get in there, my boy, with a goal as well to give them the 3 points. 2-0 for me. North Macedonia against Georgia ended up all square 1-1 in the end. Jürgen Oloski on the score sheet for Macedonia, with Krikski scoring for Georgia. Stol Domivski get himself sent off for Macedonia as well. Estonia, I actually went the 2-1, so shame on me. Estonia Bulgaria against Armenia with a 1-1 draw as well. Draws galore down this part of the old fixtures. It's Kosovo Haskamanian on score sheet for Armenia. Rano Separibadan on score sheet for Estonia. Actually with a 2-0 win. Got the right amount of goals, but not really distributing correctly. Kosovo 0, Greece 0, Greece 0, Kosovo 0. Actually went the 3-1 win for Greece, but no, wrong on that one. Moldova against Slovenia was a 4-0 win for Slovenia. Big performance for them. Sandy Lorovic and Hans Haris Vukic gives up a hat trick there as they smash Moldova away from him. Actually won with Moldova. What was I thinking? Lithuania, they lost to Albania. No, they didn't. They drew. They drew 0-0 in the end. Actually, I went with a 2-0 with Albania. That's what I was reading. Again, wrong. And Belarus did beat Kazakhstan 2-0. Got the right amount of goals, but I went with a 1-1 draw. So, Evgeny Yablowski on score sheet, Yoman or Roman Jeshipchich on score sheet for Belarus. And like I said, got myself 2, which makes I think I got 7. So not brilliant, absolutely not brilliant, but not terrible either. So let's take a look then at how you all got on then, shall we? Let's get into the deep end and have a little look, see what you got for me. Let's have a look, see. Here we go, go. 7 is in the straight face gang. Oh, 7 is where you're looking to beat me. Oh, yes, 15. I don't think there's any of those. Oh, let's go. Okay, so Aruski, you did all right, brother. Milo 20660 did okay. Jonathan Lou did all right. Master Fighter did okay. Bossy Matter not too shabby. Hansvers did okay. Hey Judy did okay. Walsh Design did shite. Slav and Celtic did bits. LG and Cow, well done, brother. To you, you're right over there. You're in the corner. Meanwhile, Costas K, he did okay. Neil Galilei, we'll get to you in a minute. Nicholas Merkus, not too shabby. Gary Dodgett also did bits. Luka Kajanovic, not too shabby. Neil Galilei, he did okay. Blazoo did all right. Z did okay. Anti-Solana, top shot for you, brother. Shane O'Donnell, well done. Over Queen 777, Fernando Hasses Ganaman, they did bits. Jan, of course, new patron to the gang, well done to you, brother. You did okay. We are QPR, not too shabby. Omar Escabil, Mexican Kingpin Sniper, also did very well as well. Nathan Eber, coming at you from down under, did poop. Meanwhile, this guy down here, he did okay. Gaming Charlie, not too shabby. Declan did bits. Yannick Buster, not too shabby. Matt Gunner did okay. And Roberto Hollis, he did alright. And Ultra Omer Muric, well done to you, brother. Also, I think he's leading the charge at the moment, so we need to stop the rot there. So, of course, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Here we go. I would have been right down there. Shame on me, but we're all right. Hey, Judy, coming at you with a 14, baby. 14, get it in there. You are the leaderboard kingpin this week. Bow down to your leader for this week. Master Fighter was also not too far away. Bossy Matter did bits as well. Then the whole chasing pack with 11 out of 20, I think. This is the current leaderboard as it stands. Ignore my scores. I will get there. But this is the situation at the top. Ultra Omer Mura with a 3-point percentage point lead over Jonathan Liu, Costas K, but he's okay. Master Fighter also not too far away. Fernando Hasesca, Sega 10 points or 10 percentage points off of Ultra Omer. He seems to have this in the bag, boys and girls. He is your patriot. He is a patriot, but he is your prediction king. Right, bow down to Ultra Omer. Get down there, my boys. Well done, everybody else. For so far, so good. Of course, we're heading into 5.2. Of course, there's still 6.1 and still 6.2, and then we'll have the finals, of course, next year, I think. So let's get into it then. In fact, before we jump into it, let's take a look at the all-important standings right now for the Nations League. Let's get into it. So here we are, boys and girls. Let's take a look at the tables right here, right now. League A, Group 1 is Poland leading the charge at the moment over Italy, just by 1 point. Netherlands, I've got a bit of work to do. They're going to get themselves out of it. It looks like a too late for Bosnia-Herzegovina. I think mathematically they could still do it. Maybe, but it's a stretch. It's a long stretch. They look like they're going to be doomed and go down to the League B for the next time around. Meanwhile, in League A Group 2, Belgium currently lead the charge at the moment with 1 defeat to their name so far. They're going to be they're 2 points currently adrift of Denmark and England, who are both on 7 points. But of course, that could all change with Belgium taking on England this coming match day. Iceland are already relegated to League B for the next time around. If we drop down further, who else is in action? We've got Romania, Norway. That's coming out of League B Group 1. Austria currently lead the charge at the moment ahead of Norway on goal difference, of course. 9 points apiece. Romania and Northern Ireland, of course, already battling out for the wooden spoon and relegation or avoidance of relegation, to be honest with you. So that could be decided very soon. Of course, we have Scotland leading charge at the moment, 4 points clear of their nearest and dearest, which is the Czech Republic, who have been a bit hot and cold recently. Slovakia look like they're already down. They're 5 points adrift of second place Czechs Republic, their nearest and dearest as well. But I think a point will do for Scotland. Who are they taking on? They're taking on Slovakia. They should, hopefully they'll get over the line on that one. Meanwhile, the Czech Republic, Turkey gets Russia. Of course, Russia lead charge at the moment, unbeaten in their group. That's League B Group 3. Picking up 2 wins and 2 draws so far, 8 points on the board. Hungary are second, just 1 point adrift from there. Turkey got it all to do, though. What have they got? 6 points left on the table. They'll need a bit of a miracle if they're going to get themselves out. First and foremost, they'll need to beat Russia on this match day, of course. Meanwhile, into the next ones, we have, what do we have? We have Wales leading the charge over Finland at the moment, 1 point clear of them out in League B Group 4. Ireland looked like it's done and dusted, really, to be honest with you. Ireland and Bulgaria is scrapping out for that to avoid that wooden spoon there in relegation. Wales and Finland will be duking it out for that top spot remaining. Of course, we talked about the League C before, Group 1s and 2s, I think. Group C, League C, Group 3, should I say. Slovenia leading the charge at the moment, 10 points, have a possible 12 for them, 2 points clear of Greece. Kosovo and Moldova got a lot of work to do as well if they're going to get anywhere near this. And to be honest with you, Moldova are already shot. They just need to keep themselves above water, above Kosovo. Belarus at the moment leading the charge as well out in League C Group 4 over Lithuania, 2 points clear of them. Albania also on 5 points. Kazakhstan not out of the question as well. And I think that's pretty much it. But those are your tables right now. So let's get into the matches, of course, for this next round of Nations League contention. So let's get into it and take a look at the next round of matches. Netherlands will kick us all off against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Now, again, these games will take place on the 15th of November, which is a Sunday. Now, these two sides played just once in the past, and that was, of course, in the Nations League earlier in the campaign. Back in October, of course, just the other day, it was a 0-0 draw in Bosnia-Herzegovina. No goal scorers on the day. Will it be more of the same? You never know. Heading into this, the Dutchies actually just one defeat the past 4 for them. That was against Italy on the road. Of course, they're at home on this time around, and their record at home so far is, in fact, scratch that, flip it around, turn it around, and chew on it. Their only defeat for the Netherlands was at home against Italy. That's right. Bloody hell. What am I thinking? But they're coming to this back-to-back games with draws. Will it be a three-peat? We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Bosnia-Herzegovina come into this 2 draws and 2 defeats for them so far out in Nations League A Group 1, of course. Bookies odds. What do we have on the bookies odds on this one? 11-4 for the Netherlands. Stone Cold favourites. 50-4 is your draw. 7-1 is your away win on this one. Difficult one, this one, of course. The Dutchies trying to get themselves in the driving seat. And they'll do just that with a 3-1 win over Bosnia-Herzegovina. Next up we have Italy taking on Poland, of course. Now, this is a classic nations, of course. Played each other 17 times in the past. 6 wins for Italy, 3 wins for Poland, and just 8 draws. A lot of draws, of course. The last 6, though, sees 3 wins for Italy, 1 win for Poland, and 2 draws, including a draw last time they played each other, which was in Poland back in October, of course, and the Nations League. 0-0 draw in the end. However, last time they played each other in Italy was also in the Nations League back in 2018. It was a 1-1 draw. There were fans there. Peter Zelinski on the score sheet for Poland with Jorginho on the score sheet for Italy. That's right. Heading into this, Italy unbeaten in the past 4 games, and they're actually unbeaten in this group at the moment, but they actually sit second. I pick up 3 draws and a win so far. Poland are currently your leaders, 7 points on the possible 12 for them. It's a tight group, and they're actually unbeaten in 3, picking up 2 wins at the past 3 games and drawing the other one. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? What do we have on this? Italy 4-3 on. Stone Cold favourites. 30-5 is your draw. 50-4 is your away win. That is Poland on this one. I'm not going to go with the leaders. I'm going to go with the probably the better team on the day, and that will be Italy with a 2-0 win over the Polskis in the end. Next up, of course, is Belgium taking on England. Of course, now these two sides have played each other 24 times in the past. Just 3 wins for Belgium, but the tide is turning, and 16 wins for England. 5 draws, of course. England do need a win to get themselves into contention for that top spot. Anyway, they've played each other. The last 6 have been 2 wins for Belgium, 3 wins for England, and 1 draw. They did actually play each other in England earlier in the campaign, and actually England won 2-1 win. Get in there. Marcus Rashford, Mason Mount on the score sheet in England victory. Romelu Lukaku, the 1-0 goal for Belgium. Heading into this, of course, last time played in Belgium was a 2-0 win in the World Cup qualifying back in July 2018. Thomas Meunier and Eden Hazard on the score sheet in a 2-0 win. Heading into this, of course, Belgium lead the charge at the moment with 9 points out of a possible 12. England actually in 3rd spot at the moment behind Denmark and Belgium, just 7 points on the board, and they come into this on the back of a defeat. Just 1 win in the past 3 games for England. That was against Belgium. Meanwhile, on the flip side, 2 wins out of the past 3 for Belgium. Of course, that defeat against England rings close. The bookies odds on this one, 11-8 for Belgium, 9-4 is your draw, 2-1 is your away win. That is for England on this one. I'm still going with Belgium are the best team in the world. They are the best team in the world, and they'll show their quality once again, and maybe show a bit of frailty in the Gareth Southgate regime. Meanwhile, Denmark against Iceland, same group. A big game for Denmark. If they win this, they could probably edge closer to actually finishing above England for sure on this one. They've played each other 22 times in the past. 19 wins for the Danes, nothing for the Icelandics, and 3 draws. The last 6, though, 6 wins out of 6 for Denmark over Iceland, and that's stretching all the way back to 2006. Last time they played each other was in Iceland. It was a 3-0 win for Denmark back in October. Runar, Mars Sigurdsson with a big for OG, Christian Eriksen, and Robert Skoff on score sheet for Denmark. Anyway, last time they played each other in Denmark was back in 2016. It was a friendly. It was a 2-1 win for the Danes. Nicola Jorgensen with a couple of goals. Ogmar Ignig Targetsson as well. Heading into this, Iceland have actually lost the past 4 games and the Nations League with some very, very harsh scoreline scorelines as well. Meanwhile, Denmark are unbeaten in 3. Of course, they started off their campaign against Belgium with the defeat, but since then they've been unbeaten. Look at the odds on this one then, shall we? What do we have on this? We have Denmark with 11-4 for the odds for the victory. Stone Cold Favourites 7-2 is your draw. 81 is your long shots. That is Iceland. Denmark at home. You got to go with it. I'm going with a 2-1 win. What about you? Make sure you get your picks in nice and early for these. Romania taking on Norway. Let's get into it now on this one. These two celebrations are 14 times the past. 4 wins for Romania, 3 wins for Norway, and 7 draws. Oh yeah. The last 5 sees 2 wins for Norway, nothing for Romania, and 3 draws. In fact, that celebration was in Norway. It was in the Nations League back in October. It was a 4-0 win for Norway. Haaland with a hat-trick, saw off as well on the score sheet. However, last celebration in Romania was in the European Championship qualifying campaign. It was back in 2019. It was a 1-1 draw in the end. Alexander Mitrata on the score sheet, and Alexander Soroff as well on the score sheet back in a 1-1 draw in October 2019. Norway 3 wins on the spin for them in all competitions. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Romania, losing to Austria and, of course, losing to Norway. Heading into the bookies on this one, 21-10 for Romania for the victory, 32 is your 65 is your away win. That is Norway. They are the favourites. They are the favourites for this one. They are the favourites in their eyes, but not mine. I'm going to go with Romania to upset the apple cart with a 2-0 win. Surprise one there, hopefully to kind of turn this prediction on its head. Next up, Austria taking on Northern Ireland. Of course, they could be happy, they could be sad. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, they played each other 12 times in the past. 5 wins for Austria, 4 wins for Northern Ireland, and 3 draws. Oh yes, the last 6 though sees 4 wins for Austria, nothing for Northern Ireland, and 2 draws. Last time played was in Northern Ireland in the Nations League, and it was a 1-0 win for Austria. Michael Gorgadish on score sheet. However, last time they played in the Austria was also a 1-0 win for Austria back in 2018 in the Nations League as well. Marko Ashnatovic on score sheet for Austria. Austria coming to this just 1 defeat the past 4. They sit second at the moment in their group, which is of course Group B or Nations League B. Group 1. Northern Ireland struggling at the moment, bottom of the pops at the moment without a win so far. And again, they could be preoccupied. We'll have to wait and see. The odds on this one, Austria 94 on for the favourite. They are the favourites. 65 is your draw. 32 is your away win for Northern Ireland. Can't see anything but a home win on this one. I'm going to go with Austria. I said I'm going to go with Austria with a 2-0 win in the end. Next up, Slovakia up against Scotland, of course. Now, these two have played each other 3 times in the past. 1 win for Slovakia, 2 wins for Scotland, and no draws. The last match they played each other was, of course, in the Nations League in Scotland. It was a 1-0 win back in October, of course. And the last time they played each other in Slovakia was a 3-0 win for Slovakia back in October 2016. You want to know the goal scorers? I'll tell you. Robert Mack with a couple of goals there, and Adam Nimic. That's a name that rings a bell. We're Googling them. Googling them on the fly. Adam Nimic is a professional footballer who plays for Liga 1 side, Dinamo Bucharest. He's 35. 35, is he still in the squad? Is he still in the squad? Still in the squad? No, he retired. It looks like he retired last year. But anyway, heading into this, Scotland unbeaten in 4 games, of course, and also got themselves over the line in the older Euros. Well, they've actually got that as well. So they could also be in pissed off mood as well. Look at the odds on this one then, shall we? What do we have on the Scots for the W? What do we have? 8-5 for Slovakia for the victory. 23-10 is your draw. 30-8 is Scotland. It looks like Slovakia are your favourites on this one. I'm going to go with Scotland. Heart over my head on this one, and hopefully they'll be partying in Scotland, of course, prior to this. Next up, the Czechs taking on Israel, of course. Now, these two have played 3 times in the past. 3 wins for Czechs, nothing for Israel, and 0 draws. The last time played was in Israel. It was a 2-1 win for the Czechs back in October, of course, in the Nations League. They did play each other in a friendly in the Czech Republic back in 2012. It was a 2-1 win for Israel, for Czech Republic in the day. Milan Baros on the score sheet, and David Lafata as well, with Ite Shekhter on the score sheet for Israel. Heading into this, Israel just 1 defeat the past 4. That was against the Czech Republic a couple of games back. Meanwhile, the Czechs 2 wins and 2 defeats at the past 4, and they currently find themselves in second, of course, trailing Scotland as it stands. Look at the bookies odds on this one then. Czech Republic's 10-7 on. Stone Cold Favourites 40-5 is your 15-4 is your away win. That is Israel on this one. Despite the Czech Republic's often fielding weakened teams and all that kind of jazz, I still think they'll get the over the line with a 2-1 win over Israel on this one. Next up, we have Turkey. They're going to be taking on Russia, of course. Now, these two sides played each other 7 times in the past. No wins for Turkey, 4 wins for Russia, and 3 draws, of course. The last 5 sees 3 draws and 2 wins for Russia. Last time played was a draw back in Russia. It was a 1-1 draw back in October. Anton Muriancic on the score sheet for Russia, with Kenan Kazman on score sheet for Turkey. However, last time played in Turkey was also in the Nations League back in 2018. It was a 2-1 win for Russia. Then, of course, sitting top of the pops out in their group, 8 points out of a possible 12 for them. 2 wins and 2 draws. Back-to-back games have been draws, though. Meanwhile, Turkey have just lost the once, but they've actually haven't won so far, and they sit third at the moment in their group. They need to win if they're going to upset the apple cart on top of the table on that one. Bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this? We have Turkey are actually 6-4 for the victory. 11-5 is your draw. 9-5 is your away win. That is Russia on this one. Going with a draw, playing it safe. Can't really separate the two sides on this one. Hungary taking on Serbia, of course. Now these two sides, they played each other one time in the past. It's actually been one win for Hungary, nothing for Serbia, of course, and that was, of course, in the Nations League earlier in the campaign. Back in October, it was a 1-0 win. Norbert Convez on the score sheet for Hungary. Heading into this, though, Serbia two draws and 2 defeats at the first 4 games and the Nations League. Meanwhile, Hungary sits second at the moment with 7 points on the board with 2 wins, a defeat and a draw on their agenda. Anyway, the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on the bookies odds? 30-8 for Hungary. 21-10 is your draw. 70-10 is your away win. That is Serbia on this one. Don't know. I think I've gone with Hungary on this one. 2-0 win. They're sitting pretty at the moment. Second, Serbia. I just don't think they're at the races so far. That's the first batch of matches. Let's kick it on further to the next half. Okay, next up we have, what do we have? We have Bulgaria up against Finland. Let's get into the deep end with this bad boy. These two sides of each other 9 times the past. 7 wins for Bulgaria, 1 win for Finland, and 1 draw. The last time they played each other was actually in the Nations League, of course, back in Finland, in Helsinki. It was a 2-0 win for Finland, of course. And in fact, last time they played each other in Bulgaria was back in 2008. It was a friendly. It was a 2-1 win for Bulgaria. So, a win apiece at the past 2. But heading into this, Finland sit second, Bulgaria sit 4th. And actually, Bulgaria look completely out of this one, actually losing the past 3 games on the spin. On the flip side, Finland winning the past 3 games on the spin. So they're looking in tip-top shape. But of course, Wales lead the charge at the moment. A look at the odds on this one then. Woo! What do we have? Bulgaria 5-2 for the victory. 19-10 is your, 30-10 is your away win, and that is, of course, Finland on this one. I'm going to stick with the draw on this one. Probably going down the middle. Really playing it safe on this one because Finland should probably be the better side, but you just don't know with Bulgaria in the end. Of course, Battle of Britain, sort of, between Wales and Ireland, Republic of Ireland, of course. Now, these two sides played each other 18 times in the past. 7 wins for Wales, 6 wins for Republic of Ireland, and 5 draws. The last 6, so sees 2 wins for Wales, 1 win for Ireland, and 3 draws, including a draw last time they played each other, which was in the Nations League back in October. 0-0 draw in the end. The one only goal, or the one only incident, James McLean getting himself sent off for a double yellow card there. Meanwhile, last time they played each other in Wales was a 4-1 win for Wales back in 2018 in the Nations League. Lawrence with the goal there, Bale, Ramsey, and Conor Roberts as well. Sean Williams getting the consolation goal for Ireland. Heading into this, Wales unbeaten in the past 4 games, sit top of the pops, although 10 points out of possible 12. Meanwhile, Ireland, not really got going. And of course, they were preoccupied with the old Euro playoffs, of course, and they're coming to this 2 draws out of the past 4 games for them, looking for some more points if possible. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Even Stevens for Wales for the victory. 11-5 is your draw. 3-1 is your away win. That is the Republic of Ireland. I'm sticking with Wales on this one. They know Ireland will be great as before the Chris Coleman Wales, but they're still ticking on, and I still think they'll be okay with a 3-1 win in the end. Next up, North Macedonia taking on Estonia. Now, these two teams played each other 5 times in the past. 3 wins for Macedonia, nothing for Estonia, and 2 draws. Oh, yes. The last match, of course, was in Estonia in the Nations League back in October. It was a 3-3 draw, of course. And last time they played each other in North Macedonia was a 1-1 draw back in 2007. Oh, my goodness, 13 years ago. The goal scorers on the day, Goran Mantov on the score sheet for Macedonia, and Rigo Proroja on the score sheet for Estonia as they shared the scores. Heading into this, Estonia back-to-back games without a win, and back-to-back games without a defeat, as they've drawn, of course, the previous 2. Meanwhile, on the flip side, North Macedonia unbeaten in 4 games, sitting top of the pops, out in Nations League C Group 2, looking for an unbeaten campaign to boot. Look at the odds on this one then, shall we? What do we have on this? 2-1 on North Macedonia are your favourites. 3-1 is your draw. 11-2 is your away win. That's Estonia. But I can't see anything but North Macedonia win to continue their unbeaten campaign out in their respective group. Georgia taking on Armenia, of course. Now, these two sides played each other 6 times in the past. 3 wins for Georgia, 1 for Armenia, and 2 draws, of course. The last match, of course, was out in Armenia. It was a 2-2 draw back in October 2020. Previously, they did play each other back in 2011. It was a 2-1 win for Georgia. So Armenia coming to this without beating Georgia in their previous occasion. And we're heading into this, what do we have on this? Last 3 games, Armenia are unbeaten, picking up 2 draws and a win. On the flip side, Georgia go in 4 games unbeaten and currently sits second in the table with 6 points out of a possible 12 on this one. Look at the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on the bookies odds? Georgia 20-17 on Stone Cold Favorites. 23-10 is your draw. 7-2 is your away win. That is Armenia, of course. Oh my goodness, what have we got here? We got a glitch on the Greece flag there. Give me a second. I'm not sure where I left you, but I want to win for Armenia. But next up, of course, we have Moldova taking on Greece, of course. Let's get into this bad boy then, shall we? Moldova, where are you? Actually played each other 6 times in the past. Nothing for Moldova. 5 wins for Greece and 1 draw. Of course, the last time I played each other was in Greece. It was a 2-0 win for Greece. Back in October, of course, it was a 2-0 win in the end with Astonios Pataketikas on the score sheet for Greece from a penalty spot and Pedros Matonolos as well, with Flashev post-match getting himself sent off for Moldova. However, last time I played each other in Moldova was a 1-1 draw. Yes, that's right. That was back in 2009. It was on the 9th of the 9th, 2009, with Valeridou Adonovic on the score sheet with Tieravanas Gekas as well on the score sheet for Greece. Heading into this, the bookies odds. What do we have on the bookies odds on this one? What do we have on the bookies odds? What do we have on the bookies odds? Moldova 7-1 for the victory, 3-1 as draw, 9-4 on. Greece are your stone cold favourites. That's where I'm going. I'm going to give Greece at least a share of the spoils with a 0-0 draw. They've not been good. They've not been clinical, but they'll get a point out of this one. Slovenia taking on Kosovo, of course. Now, these two played just the one time in the past, and that, of course, was in the Nations League back in October. It was a 1-0 win for Slovenia in Kosovo. The one and only goal scorer on the day was Hansis Hadisvucic, of course. He's scoring goals to find out in the old Nations League for Slovenia. Anyway, they come into this. Slovenia looking good at the moment. Unbeaten in 4, sitting top of the pops at the moment. 10 points out of a possible 12. Winning 3 on the spin for them. Meanwhile, Kosovo on the flip side pick up 2 draws and 2 defeats so far. Just 2 points on the agenda for them. They need some results if they're going to get themselves away from that relegation spot. Look at the odds on this one. Slovenia against Kosovo. Slovenia against Kosovo. The bookies odds 6-5 on for Slovenia. Stone cold favourites 21-10 is your draw. 4-1 is Kosovo on this one. I did like Kosovo at the start of this, but they're realising that they might not be as good as I made them out to be. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Slovenia to take it to the bank. And of course, the final two now, Belarus taking on Lithuania. Of course, now these two celebrations are the 9 times the best. 4 wins for Belarus, 1 win for Lithuania, and 4 draws. Oh yes, the last 5 sees 2 wins for Belarus, 1 for Lithuania, and 2 draws, including a draw last time around in Lithuania back in October. Of course, Andrius Nukarovis and Kalios Lukasimius on the score sheet for Lithuania, with Vitaly Lakashavicic and Alexander Shakichenko on score sheet for Belarus. A 2-2 draw. However, last time I played each other in Belarus back in 2012, it was a friendly. Back in June, it was a 1-1 draw in the end. Heading into this, Belarus unbeaten in 3, picking up 2 wins and a draw to boot, and they currently find themselves top of the pops out in League C, Group 4. On the flip side, Lithuania coming to this in 3rd. 5 points on the board for them. Unbeaten in the past 3, of course, pick up 2 draws and a win as well. Their only defeat on their agenda was, of course, against Lithuania last time around. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Belarus. What do we have for the Belarus? It's 5-4 on for Belarus for the victory, 9-4 is draw. 4-1 is your away win. That is Lithuania. And I'm going with Belarus to get a point on this one. 0-0 in the end. And then wrapping it up. It'll be Albania taking on Kazakhstan. And these two celebrations 3 times in the past. 2 wins for Albania, nothing for Kazakhstan, and 1 draw. Last time picture was in Kazakhstan and was that very draw. It was a 0-0 draw in the end. However, last time picture in Albania was back in 2005. It was a 2-1 win for Albania with Florin Majach and Adir Bogdani on the score sheet, with Kazakhstan's coming from Maskim and Nuka Vezevdev. They come into this Kazakhstan just 1 win in the past 4, and they come into the bottom of the pops out in their group, which is of course Group C, Nations League C, Group 4. Whereas on the flip side, Albania come into this in 2nd. Not great for them, picking up 2 draws in the past 3 games. 2nd, but they could do with some more on this one. The bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this? Do I have? I must have it. Must have Albania. There they are. 10-7 on. Stone cold favourites for Albania. 12-5 is your. 9-2 is your away win. That is Kazakhstan. I'm going to go with an Albania victory. Oh yes, that's nice. Well, unfortunately, Kazakhstan will face a defeat, and that's what I think will happen. Of course, in match number 5.2. Of course, we'll be back again for match number 6, part 1. But once the games come in and the results come in, we'll be back, and of course, we'll review your predictions and mine. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you give the video some love in. Smash that thumbs up. Smash subscribe, of course. And if you want to support the channel in another way, you can also check out the link down below, patreon.com/Rosies, to become a brother from another man. That's it, boys and girls. That's it. Nations League 5.2. Of course, we're getting to the end of this one, but there's still plenty of time to get yourself in the old prediction league, get your comments in and your picks in the old comment section down below. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Until then, though, I'm out.